on this one, on this assignment, basically what we're doing is getting the 10 out of our way so we can divide the 10 or multiple of 10 later, okay? So when I watched the video that Dwayne did, he put the 8 first, I think. I'm not sure. And then Dwayne put the 10 first, Zern put the 8 first. My answer key put the 10 first, and my instructions put the 8 first. So I know, so basically I don't think it matters which order you do these in. That's what I'm saying, okay? Which, when I multiply, it doesn't matter the order, does it? I can switch the order around, it makes sense. So, this whole page, this whole column, okay? You do one, and then you use the answer from this one to help you with the next one, okay? So let's just start with C and D. So I'm going to think of this as 24/10. It's just easiest for me to think of it that way. And if it's easier for you to write it, then just write it, okay? So if I think of this as 24/10 divided by 8, my answer is going to be what? 3/10, okay? So all I do is write the answer there. Now this answer, 3/10, I'm going to use again in D. Did you figure that out from yesterday? Yeah, you guys might not need as much review. Okay, now just a minute, Cooper, don't get ahead of me. So remember, I can think of 80 as 8 and 10, right? 8 times 10. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 24/10, which is 2.4, divided by 8, then divided by 10. And I think most of you got this yesterday. If you were gone yesterday, raise your hand. Well, where's your paper? Aubrey, where's your paper? Were you gone yesterday? No. Then where's your paper that looks like this, honey? We need to find that eventually. Okay, so now I'll take this 3/10 that I already know is the answer here, right? Equals. And I'll put that down divided by 10. Then the only thing you have to do now is what?
Move the decimal.
Move the decimal over, okay? So if I move the decimal over, what do I get?
300s.
300s. So that's basically what we're doing. Why am I having you go through this one with me? Because I want to show you a few tricks, like on E. Let's take a look at E. So instead of doing 146/10, which when I get above 100, I don't really have things memorized. Do you? Okay, so what if I take this and I separate this number between the decimal? So I'm going to think of it as 14 ones. And underneath that, write how many tenths? 6 tenths. And then we're going to divide them both by the same number. Go ahead and write this, because I want you to look at this a different way. So 14 divided by 2.
7.
So 7 what?
10.
7 ones. Okay. And 6/10 divided by 2.
3/10.
So 3/10. 7.3. Okay? So, Jarrett, who's making that noise over there? You need to be focusing on either what I write or what I say, and not the noise she's making with her pencil. Stop. Okay. So now I have 7.3. I'm going to use it, and this is what I want you to see for your exit ticket today. Okay? So, over here, what will I make this 20?
2 to 10.
Good. So 14.6 divided by 2 divided by 10. You could switch the 2 and the 10 around if you want to. This is how I'm choosing to do it. Easiest for me. Okay? Do I already know the answer to 14.6 divided by 2?
Yes.
It's right here. What is it?
7.3.
Divided by 10. Okay? So Aubrey, what do you think I need to do now? Has something to do with the decimal. I'm going to hop the decimal. Now, it just so happens on the exit ticket from Bluff 2, some of the kids forgot which way you go for divide and multiply. Don't forget that, okay? Right. Okay, so how you doing? Pretty good? Is this the same thing you did yesterday, only with different numbers? Okay, so now I want to talk to you about, let's make this a little harder, okay? Go ahead and look at G, and then I'm going to change J a little bit. G and H, right now, pick your heads up, quit acting bored. Okay, so 8/10 divided by 4. What is it? 2/10. Go ahead and write it. If it helps you to write 8/10, then write it. Okay? Now, I'm not going to use 2/10 in the next problem. Have you noticed? How do you know I'm not going to use 2/10?
400 divided by 80.
There's no decimal. Okay, well there is, but it's at the end. So instead, what do I make the 400? 4 and 100. So we'll do 80 divided by 4 divided by 100. Okay, 80 divided by 4 is what?
20.
Divided by 100. Now somebody in block 2 said, oh, the answer's 50.
No.
Now look at the order of that. I can see why he thought it. He was looking at 100 divided in half, right? But look at the order of it. The 20's first. So how many?
1, 2.
1, 2. So that gives me, right, 2/10 or 20 hundredths. What do I usually do when I write that and realize I don't need it? That's right. Okay. So are we good on this strategy? Because this is what you're going to do on your exit ticket. Okay, then I'm going to try and make it a little harder like it is on your exit ticket. Can we do that? Okay, so take a look at I. Instead of 56 hundredths, over here I want to do 5.6 divided by 70. Okay? And right here, I'll leave it the same. So you can see how much harder it's going to be when I move that decimal. Okay? So 56 hundredths. I could write it like that to help myself out. Think about it. Divided by 7.
8 is 0.
8 what?
10.
What?
100.
8 hundredths. Right. Okay, so how do I write 8 hundredths?
0.0.
Very good. Okay, now I noticed that my decimal is in a different place over here in 5.6.
So it's
So here, just a minute, Corbin, let's write this, okay? Because I want to try and make it harder for you. So I'm going to think about this as 5 ones and 6 tenths, okay? Divided by 70. So 5.6 divided by what?
7. That makes sense.
7 divided by 10. Okay, Cooper, you're going to have to write this. Unless you have a fever. You want me to check your head? Did you stay up too late? Wait. So back to this. I know there's going to be an 8 in my answer. Corbin, where do you think the 8's going to be?
8 tenths.
Why do you think it's going to be 8 tenths?
Because it's 56 hundredths and
56 tenths.
tenths.
Right. Very good. So I'm underlining the 6. What's that 6 telling me, Mia? What's the 6 telling me?
It's something that
Then my answer is going to be in what place value? Very good. So 8 tenths divided by 10. So now, if I hop the decimal one time, 800. Lo and behold, we got the same answer for both of them. That's really weird, isn't it? Okay, so here's what I want to do now. I want to look at that exit ticket real quick. And this is the most important thing. I need you to listen. Okay, first of all, on this one, on the first one, let's just do the math. It's on the back, by the way. Turn it over. Okay, so if I do 27 ones divided by 3, what do I get?
9
9 what?
ones.
Ones. And if I do, how much do I have here?
3/10.
3/10 divided by 3 equals 1, what? 10. She think you're fine?
No, I didn't get it. She drove off on her walk.
Okay. So I'll give her a quick text message. Okay? All right, so I'm seeing 9.1. Is that what you're seeing? Okay, now take a look at this. Remember what I told you at the beginning, like in Module 1? Whatever I start with, if I divide by a whole number, right? I'm going to end with that same place value. So did that work out here? So most likely, that's going to work out there too, isn't it? Okay? So when I do the next problem, here's what I want you to think about. Put your 3 equal signs. I'm going to think about 2.73 divided by 3 divided by 10. So go ahead and write that down. And what's my place value?
100.
Hundredths. I know I've got a 9 and a 1 in my answer. What do you think it's going to be? 91 hundredths. Very good. So, write down 91 hundredths divided by 10. By the way, I'm only going to have you do number 2 independently. Okay, can you solve that one?
We have to.
What do you have to do now?
We have to decimal hop it.
Decimal hop. Right. So the answer is 91 thousandths. Okay? Now let's take a look at the next one. Go ahead and put your 3 equal signs. So I have 273 divided by what? Derek, help me out. How am I going to break 300 apart?
3.
What am I going to break this apart? 3 and what?
10.
Can't be 10. That's only got 1 zero.
100.
100. Okay? So 273 divided by 3 divided by what? 100. Tired of sitting?
No, I'm just super fidgety.
Uh-oh. So do I already know that there's going to be a 9 and a 1 in my answer?
Yeah.
Okay, well, my last digit's in the ones place. So do you think it's 91 ones?
No.
Yes, it is. So 91 divided by 100.
How are you doing that?
So the 0 is the only thing that's changing my place value. Have you noticed that? Otherwise, it stays the same. So here's your decimal, right? How many times? What did we get for an answer?
0.91.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do on your own. I'm going to explain it. I want you to focus. Because the kids, I guess they can't copy very well in block 2. Okay, so here's the first problem. 7 and 29 hundredths divided by 9 equals 81 hundredths. Okay, write that down. That's like the left side. Okay, now the right side is asking us to do this problem. How is that different?
It's not 9. It's only.
Right, so that would be a 9 and a 10, correct? So, how do you write this?
720.
Divided by 9, divided by 10. You have 2 more equal signs you have to fill in. Hint, we already know the answer to this. Yeah, it's over here. Okay. So, Cooper, I want you to try and do that one. So I can know if you understand this.
Wait, do we have to write it out and everything?
Now, I want you to at least write what I wrote on the right side there. That makes sense. Okay, so you got your answer? Okay, now I want to see if it's right. I'm going to send you to the sorter.